Okay, critique land. Hello. Critique mode activated. Get the Wacom. Tobias, it might be hard, I'm not sure, to separate yours out. Just because I go in order with the Discord to try and keep stuff kind of separated. So I know who built what. You know what I mean? No sign? I'm just moving some windows around. Okay. Oh man, Stubbles is in here. Stubbles is in the Discord. Sick. Okay. So we'll look at Pascal's. Is it Pascal? Pascal? Like technology Pascal? Wooby, usually the stream does not have issues. I went with the suggested default settings that they set for a stream of my quality. The other thing is it's streaming. I think it's streaming at a 1080, so that might be an issue. All right, so let's look at this. You've got a demo reel link. Those work. That's good. Easy tree. So you've built some tools. So I'm assuming you're interested in technical art. You're from the Netherlands. Technical artist. Yep. CG artist. Pipeline developer. Dutch, English, yes. Fluent, written, and spoken. So this robotic soccer ball thing, that is terrifying. Just the idea that you go to kick it and then it opens up and it starts walking around. Overall, I mean, it looks well executed. I like the attention to detail when it comes to. Let me just scale this up. I like the attention to detail when it comes to little creases inside of here. Let me get the... where are we at here? Sounds good, Tobias. So I like the little creases inside of between the panels of material. That's really good. This is cool how this opens up, and I like how everything's kind of put together. There's some detail here that I'm expecting, like a little bit more of an intricacy in like how this piece and this piece connect. Right now it's just a line. Like, and you have the same thing here. Like whenever you have two material breaks, having it just break where like the UVs split tends to look a little bit more CG than usual. And then how these pieces connect to this panel here. Just pay attention to those for like future content. It does not. The overall work here looks really good though. Like I like the way this is all put together. Maybe a little bolt thing on the end here explaining how this rod and this rod are connected, like how they intertwine. Let's keep going down this. This is cool. Yeah. Rig. I'm not a rigging guy. I'm not animation. I'm pretty crap at those, honestly. So I will not critique this stuff for you. I'll just throw you weird curveballs. Futuristic gun. Let's see here. So as far as futuristic gun goes, I'm assuming you... So I'm going to guess because it doesn't follow any of the common shapes that you would expect. I'm going to assume that this is the scope, and I'm going to assume that you look through it this way and you put your hand through here, like so. This is my ability to draw an arm. You like that? I think there's some muscle there somewhere. Terrible. Anyways, I'm assuming you put your hand through that handle and then you're shooting it kind of like some Metroid Prime action. Other than that, I would say that is very, very low poly. How to make a futuristic gun for FPS. The gun is rigged for shooting and loading animation. The gun is mounted on the robot arm. Okay, yeah. So I'm assuming some stuff is correct here. What I would say... Let me make sure everything is good here. Not dropping any frames. Okay, cool. This is super low poly. Like I'm expecting this to be, I don't know, right now it looks like it's maybe 200 polys, 250 max. I expect something like this to be, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000. Especially when you see it in the first person angle. Oh yeah, see now I'm seeing like, so the arm is like, the robot arm, it confused me, so I'm holding my arm up to experience it firsthand. Yeah, it's just really low poly. And then emphasizing the edges here, like you have in the texture. I think that's the texture that's doing that. Really shows how low poly it is. And you want to try and avoid maybe doing edging like that. That's why I get really hesitant about edging like that for materials that are, when you do procedural chipping on meshes, those edges start to get exposed really easily when you over chip the material. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's kind of holding it yeah, it's holding it the way I'm expecting. Cool. So the designs of these are really cool. You just need to use a lot more geometry, and then I'm expecting to see more physically based materials accompanying the assets. Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, I just like this is even low poly for an RTS nowadays. Like you could probably, I don't know, make the poly count on this 10 times what it is currently, and you would still be like, that'd be like the high end of the detail that you would add. It's interesting that you're showing all of the UI rig. With over 100 control options. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is animation based, so you're very technical. This is cool too that you've built a tool called Easy Tree. Biped Preview Builder. Nice. Yeah, you're very technical, and rigging and animation seems to be where your interests lie, at least from what this is showing me. One thing to know too is it's very rare that I'll end up reading these just because I skim through stuff. I don't know if that's probably interesting to you. What's up, Advisable? $30 to $50K for first-person models. Yeah, I would imagine they laud the crap out of that too. This is super cool. It's a shame. Like, I would love to see this textured, or at least some type of lighting pass on top of this. Man, this is cool. I would say that so you have the spiral, and then it goes to this. This is good. The positions of these are really nice. The position of the windows is good, and the framing is really strong. So like, don't mind my drawing skills. The framing is pretty strong. I like how this is not centered in the center of the shot is here, like this spot right here, and I'm happy to see that this is not centered on that. And even the beam to this is not centered, so that's cool. The poly count of the tables and stuff feel a bit low. Don't be worried about beveling here. You wanted to scroll down the portfolio? Oh, I'm sorry, Steven. But yeah, I feel like the books are rigged for opening and closing. Dude, that's hardcore. Not alone. Not alone, SV. You're not alone. This is pretty cool. Again, it's super low poly. Like, do not be afraid to make these higher poly. And for the steps where you're trying to make the wood paneling, make sure that your UVs line up here and here. This is, I think, the second one here. They don't line up. And then this is like really hard edged. Like bevel this edge and or smooth so that you can smooth the normals around that corner. Like I'm curious what you're shooting for, because right now, oh, this is cool. Right now, the stuff I've seen above is telling me that you want to make mobile games. It's cool. This is modular as well. That's nice. This cave is really nice. I feel like it might be a bit bright. I want to feel like I'm going back into the cave where it starts to darken. I wonder if I can. Let's do this. That's what I normally do when I try and fix this stuff, is duplicate the layer and then kind of simulate the... When you lower the darkness, your saturation will go up, so you want to make sure that lowers a bit. And then put a mask on this. We'll invert the mask, and then we'll paint the darkness. This feels a little forced. Hang on here. Like that's... I'm squinting now. Hang on. Like that feels more accurate to me. Let me do a bit more, and then we'll just darken this a little bit more. I work so freaking fast in Photoshop. Nah, man. I want to darken these up a bit as well. So like, see how much more I'm like backing up? That feels like the light is bouncing less and less as it gets towards you. And all I'm doing is like, so there's this mask and then this mask. So I've essentially, what I've done is tried to fake the glowing from the opening of the cave and then really brought in the darkness on the sides. That should, dude, that looks, this is nice. I really like the materials on the walls and stuff. And then you remember too that these highlights that are happening down here are a direct relation to the brightness of the sky here. So those probably need to be reflected in the mask that I... It's like if I do... Let's see if I can... I don't think I can... contiguous. That's kind of working. Okay. So let's grab those. And we'll make a new... We'll duplicate this layer and then make a mask using that selection. So there's a selection, right? So you have to remember that these highlights should be as bright as what they're reflecting, or close to. So those would go above those, and then we'll do something like that, and we got to take the mask and then blur it so that you don't see that. Whoops. So you don't see how hacky I've been with it. Yeah, overlay's probably good. Can you see my playlist? Yeah, you can. Just do this. There's also... There you go. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Go down this. So this one looks really low poly, and I think Roman, Dark Mood, Pool of Blood. So blood is not this red. It's a pretty common mistake that, I mean, I even did this when I was in school. You just look at Google on your own time, the color of blood. Tends to be quite a bit darker. And then I would look at let's see here. So when you, I'm like, come on. These pillars, like I expect them to be like higher lit from the top, and then the base and the midtones just to be darker. Don't mind this is pretty hacky what I'm doing. So kind of like that really helps like pop the shapes out a bit more, right? And it gives some direction as to which way the, like where this is meeting the ground and such. I'm like trying to figure out how to explain this best. Remember to add some grimy stuff here, or something to help dirty this a bit so that you know how that's transitioned. Yeah, that'll help you a lot, just giving some directional aging. And then be careful with how much, like down here, be careful with how much you're, you see that? How much you're adding noise to your normals, noise to the normals here. Just because it gets really noisy fast and tends to look CG. It's, yeah, like digital. A lot of the noise information will be here, and the noise information that's here will be really shallow, so it's like pretty weak in the range of the normal's depth. Let's keep moving on. Cell shaded MP5. This actually is the coolest thing I've seen on your, like this in the cave. I think this one mainly because the style has been nailed. It's not like the quality of the other stuff is bad or anything. It's it's got the look. And I've noticed that minus this area here, like this is really low poly and this feels really low poly. If you round those out and smooth that, round this a bit. See, this feels good right here. This is nice too. This whole area here is really good. This could maybe be rounded a bit. I know that the clip tends to have that little kink in it, so that might be okay. But yeah, this part right here feels really low poly. But the rest is like, this area here, this like nailing the look of this cell shaded, like this stuff here. The noise normals, yeah, they're the bane of all of our existences. They sneak up on us every once in a while, no matter how long you've been making games. You're like, what am I doing? There's some weird compression thing going on here. I wonder if that's, yeah, it's in your thing as well, in your PDF. Anyways, this looks pretty good. I mean, I would definitely address some of the stuff I was talking about, lighting, all that stuff. There's a technical section. I would actually suggest, this song is noisy. I would suggest, you look so happy. Separating out I would make a version that's like this, and then I would make a version of your portfolio that is art creation. And then I make a version of your portfolio or your PDF that is the technical aspects, because you're going to be applying to studios either as a modeler, like a 3D modeler, texture artist, texturing your own assets and stuff, but you're making assets, or you're making or you're doing more technical rigging, you want to be a rigger for a studio, and showing off your technical prowess and rigging will be important when you apply to a place like that. So the idea that you have multiple portfolios based on what you're applying for is going to be really important, because right now this looks like you're a tech artist but you want to be a CG artist, but I don't know if you want to be a CG artist, or if I don't know if you want to be a tech artist. It looks like you have a lot more passion in your tech art, the tech art aspects of like animation and such. Anyway, hopefully that was really useful. We will move on to the rest of the peeps. That took up a lot of time, so we're gonna do this. You guys ready? Okay, first up, this madness here. This looks super cool. The seams on the boxes look good now. The wood material on the table looks really good now. The let's see here. Your materials, I mean, they all look like they're in the ranges that I would expect. Oh, this is cool. Okay, hang on. I need my Epic pen. So this, I noticed you're adding some wear here. That's super cool. I like that you're explaining how the feet of the chairs are actually pushed through the seat, and you're getting the little edge wear from them sticking up just a little bit. Over time, they just get a little beat up. The this wear is great, and the detail on the wood you've definitely nailed down. The glass, I don't know if it's because it's moved here or if you shift the camera, because it used to be right here. But now I can see the glass material, and I understand what this is, so that's really good. The difference between this and these little guys is basically the same now. So that's really improved. Materials look good. Oh no, an egg has fallen, guys. An egg has fallen. Perfect. Oh, I like that this and this are. It explains more. Like there was some pouring going on. This is my favorite material in the whole scene. That just, I want to lick it, man. I want to know, is it good? Is it good? Super cool. Super cool. The floor feels a little blank. I'd be interested in seeing a less cereal in some bowls. That's a good point. That's a good point. Rip egg. No. The floor right now doesn't have anything on it. I mean, maybe if there was like a rug that ran this way and then another one that went this way, and then you saw it peek out here, that could be interesting. I don't know if you want to do it that way or if you would want to go this direction, but maybe something on the floor would be nice. Oh, I like this song. Why would you leave cereal and milk? Dude, what I want to know is, where's the milk? Where did that come from? You need like another one of these like to the side that's full of milk, man. I want to know. Is this milk on the bread? Is it? That'd be crazy. What are you, milking your bread? Sounds weird. Anyways, this has really come a long way since you first started posting it. I also really like the material of the frame here. But I think I've said enough about this guy, so let's move on to the next one. Looks great though. It looks much better from the last time. I mean, the last time looked really good, but you've definitely improved all the little issues. The real question is milk first or cereal first? Dude, every time I've done milk first, cereal or coffee, I fuck it up. There's just, the ratios are always wrong. Don't do it. Don't risk it. Alright, we've got the textured version of the submachine gun, the Russian submachine gun. Material wise, this is looking pretty fucking hot. Alright, let's look at the sheen. Sheen test. Awesome. I would, whoa, my god. That's right, forgot about those. Okay, let's look through this. So these baked out really nice. And what's the resolution of the texture? Oh my god, you did the welding. Dude, crazy. So the thing I would say about the welding is it's very straight here, but I really like how kind of like all over the place it is right here. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the resolution looks really nice. I like the directional... Where is it? The directional... never look down a barrel, guys. It's dangerous. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, these materials look pretty good. I really like the wood material you've got going on. So the darker parts of the wood grain, I suggest taking that and 4K, Jesus. The dark parts of the wood, I would suggest giving a slightly different roughness value. Just a small amount. Just so you see it in the sheen. Because right now the sheen just looks dirty. I want to see wood patterns in the sheen. I think that would feel nice. Very good. Very good. Yeah, this looks awesome. Nice work. This breakup here feels a little forced, or maybe procedural looking. It might be worth grounding it to more around like the crevices and stuff as darker. I don't know. Wood metals wear differently and such. This feels a little strange, the softness here. Maybe if it was a little wider so that this dark width is a little... Big advantage of substance painter is weld edges. Yeah, dude. Good shiz. Good shiz. This looks great. I mean, all the stuff that we're pointing out is very nitpicky stuff. I really would love to see the wood grain in the roughness, though. I think that would be cool. Could be really subtle, too. Way too much, bro. Way too much. That was dope. It's dopeness. All right, James. So, yes, we've looked at this. We've looked at this portfolio before. It's oh shit. Oh shit. Where's Chris Radsby? Where's Chris Radsby? Oh my god. That's going to Chris. So Chris built this space in the division, so I've just sent that to him. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. So is this a reworked scene? Got this one. There's okay. Because I remember we looked at this before. Let me see what you said in the... Don't, you'll make him cry. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Coming to interviewing, looking a bit biased on my work. So JM79, so this is going to take a little bit longer than normal. Like the first portfolio we looked through. And I want to make sure that I get through everyone here. So if you would actually direct message me, we can discuss your portfolio. Mr. Man from the Dundee. Does that sound good? We can talk about all the stuff. Dude, I love this one. It's a cool scene. Aspiring 3D environment and props artist. You might be able to just say 3D environment artist because like as a 3D environment artist, initially you'll be making props. I mean, there's prop artists and then there's environment artists. But yeah, juggling between those two. Matthew will like this. I would love to see this textured, man. It's pretty cool. I like the headlight piece as well. Although I don't know how the cap thing is modeled on. Like, how's it attached? It's just part of the frame of the light. Anywho, yeah, let's discuss your portfolio more directly. That way I can keep moving through this. We got this one. This is from Emil. Crits. So saturation wise, so roughness is doing okay. The wear here, I would look at how wood wears in real life and just make sure that because I don't know, make sure that this is matching what happens. You're back, Tobias. Oh yeah, I know that, Steven, but it actually doesn't show. Like, I can see that there's no like visible connection. That's what I'm talking about. The only thing I can assume is that the light source is connected to it, and then that light source is somehow connected to the rest of the body. See, that's floating too. I actually think this whole thing is floating. Like, it needs some type of clamp or bolt here that like grounds it to the frame. Anyway, okay, let's keep going here. Saturation of this might be a little too saturated. Oh, it's no problem, SV. SV. You're cool, man. These feel a bit low poly. This feels nice. This is good. Let's go with this for the roughness. So I'll say with the roughness again, and this breakup is feeling pretty nice. I would expect that to be a bit more of a reflective, like you have here, and then where it starts to break up is probably following more of the patterns of the wood grain. This cracking stuff going on here is very procedural. Dude, I'm dancing this music. It's very procedural, so you're going to want to like try and fix those. Do some do some slope blurs to try and like bend them a little bit, and then use some masks to break them up so they're not all like breaking like this. See, if you slope blur them, you can give them a little bit of a wiggle. Use a Perlin zoom with a slope blur against that, and you should be able to scale the size of those warps. And don't be afraid to Perlin zoom and slope blur again afterwards, so that you can change the size of the bending. Materials are looking pretty good. I would expect this area to get pretty aged just because of the way that your fingers touch those dials all the time, and then strumming the guitar, I would expect maybe this area to get pretty scratched up and stuff. Maybe some directional scratches in the roughness. Oh geez. In general, though, it needs those touches, and I think it'll look pretty good. Make sure that you get some nice ambient occlusion dust in the little cracks here, because as a guitar gets dirty, like it gets all dusty in these areas. And then double check the sharpness of these. Maybe you can bevel that little inside edge there, and then bevel this little edge, because they can still be sharp. Just make sure to bevel them. Dude, we're running out of time. I'm like blowing this. I'm blowing it, guys. So this looks cool. Right now, I'm going to start blasting through this stuff because I want to make sure I get to everyone that was in this. What I'm seeing right now is my inability to be fast. I'll do this. So this area right here is the focal point of this image, because that's the area that's not like doffed out. I would expect this to be the area. So we'll turn this layer on, and I'm gonna do this. Oh geez, we're gonna do this, and this is basically going to represent where I think the focus needs to be. So if you do that, right, and then everything's kind of softening out as it goes outside of that. These guys should be super soft. This should be really blurry, and this should be really blurry, because the focus is this, right? You'll get this in focus a bit as well, and the bit of the car, but the focus is the gas station. Seen in this case, everything is in the same focus range, so it's hard to see what's happening. Like everything's clear and sharp. I would look at having your temporal AA on so that you can kind of get away from a lot of the noise that's in your masks for your foliage. And then if you open it up in Unreal and then go to show, I think it's show, and then is it developer? No. Is it lighting? Post-processing? No. Detail lighting? Visualizers? No. Buffer visualizations. So go in here and start looking at scene color. Look at, no, it's not scene color. Where is it? Visualizer. Buffer visualization. So there's base color. Check your base color. Make sure your saturations aren't too green. I wonder if there's a good ambient occlusion, post tone map color, scene color. They don't have it here. Basically, you need to make sure that your materials aren't too saturated. We can expand on that more on the next stream, I think, because I need to keep moving. Saturations usually consist of, now that I think about it, this scene might be too saturated as well. You need to double check that when you go into here, everything above this line, probably around 225, 226, and across is too bright, and everything down here, maybe around like 63, is too dark, and then everything on like up here is too saturated. Like you never want something to be that saturated, and you never want it to be that dark. So it's basically like this range here that's safe, roughly, for physically based. Okay, let's keep going. Where is the thing? There it is. This shot's good. This is a little sharp. I would be careful with how noisy your normal map is on the road. It can be there. Maybe tile it 2 more times and then lower the strength by half, and probably give you a better visual. The details are pretty nice. Your trees look really low poly right now. We need to be careful with this, like anything that tells me how the tree is constructed with geometry, it breaks the illusion and then just makes the tree look low poly. And then I guess I expect, if that light's on, I expect a highlight here, because that's what that light's for, right? So either that one goes out, or you need to put like a highlight here. And then this fire is big enough that I expect it to be kind of lighting a little bit further on the ground, and then possibly even hitting the building a little bit. And then your bottles are in the ground here. There's not a lot going on the road. I would totally add little grass, maybe some cracks, little pebbles and rocks near the edge of the grass. And I would suggest varying up the range of the height of your grass. So like, where are we at here? So the height of the grass, think about it in a gradation. So like near the edge, tends to be pretty low, but as it gets further away from where people can be or disturbance, it gets taller, especially around objects. Like you're kind of doing it here. Like all the grass here, I would expect to be maybe like this tall, and then little bits here and there throughout the cracks here, and then it gets pretty wild here, but it gradients off again. So just be careful with how tall you're making the grass uniformly. Think about it in density as it gets further away. Height versus distance from user experience. If that makes sense. And then where it gets close to buildings, it will get taller. Close to objects, it gets taller. Especially objects that have been there for a while, right? It's kind of like when you mow the lawn and you miss the edge. All right, let's blast through this. Oh yeah, so this scene's looking super good. Super nice. Let me scroll up here. This is Andreas looking for feedback on how to put this further before submitting it to final uni project. So I would get I'll show you in this angle. So this is a good shot. This is a really strong shot. This looks really good. Framing, this is like, you've got this path going on, you've got this nice angle here, you've got interests here, the wood looks good, there's this cool little dark area that makes you wonder what's back there. You've got this explaining how stuff's connected. There could be maybe some AO on the side here. That'd be nice. Lighting direction here looks really good. Like this is awesome. Your ivy is getting some really nice, or the plants that are going up the building are really nice in how they're receiving lighting. What I would suggest though is, let's see if we can, so we can see it here. So the stuff on the ground here, it looks like you have big cards that you're placing like this. I'd make the card like a third the size, texture wise, and then layer those on top of each other so they're more like this. And then they're different heights from each other and they're overlapping. You're going to get much more volume and depth to that. Yeah, Sobels, he's trying to make some Uncharted fan art. So it's really good. The other thing I would suggest is the ivy here needs to be, right now everything's pointing straight down at the same angle. You can see it much more clearly. Where are we at here? You can see it much more clearly here. So right here, everything's facing like this. You just need to get select all of them and randomize their angle just slightly, so they're kind of doing this as you go from one to the next. So that way you get that kind of natural like randomization of how they grew and moved out of the way of each other so that they can each get enough light. So just do this. In general, it looks really good. I would say I really like the ground. And you're doing that density thing that I was just talking about. See where these guys are smaller, and as it gets away from the path, it gets bigger through things like these plants, these plants. These guys tend to get bigger off the path, like on the edge. Looks really good. No, this is Salad Queen. Dope name. This is for school. This is for Andreas' school. Okay, Steven. Let's look at your portfolio. Okay, so we have a few here, which is good. Hard surface nerd. 3D graduate hard surface nerd. So if you want to be, it depends what you want to be. If you want to be a hard surface artist, then you should start modeling mechanical things, sci-fi objects, guns, all those things. Like this is a pretty good example. I wouldn't have environment art locations, or this mountain. Oh, it's a substance. That's nice. I wouldn't have stuff like this. And then this one's not necessarily hard surface. Well, it's hard surface. It's just hard surface is implied that this is I'm gonna explain this object now that I said no to. Man-made hard-edged materials. I guess the smoothness of this and the detail that's on there is kind of breaking away from that. This looks good. I would suggest doing a really, really close look at your roughness, because the wood is really, it's not as reflective as you would expect it. Like we saw a little further back, we saw some other wood on a material, and it had like a nice sheen to it that kind of explained the surface a bit more. And then this, the metal might be a bit too reflective. I really like this detail work, and I like all the details you're adding. I would suggest adding some more geometry here so that you don't see the stepping, and then adding some more here so to round it out here as well. Don't worry about your poly count as much, and take another stab at your roughness pass. The albedos look like they're probably fine. The only reason I'm critiquing the gun is because you say you're a hard surface nerd, so we should stick with the hard surface nerdage. That looks cool though. Let's see it in motion real quick here. Yeah, this is super reflective. Your roughness could definitely be wider there, and then the wood is just it's not holding up resolution wise. Don't worry about the resolution being like 4K or something. Go ahead and do it if you want it to look really good, because what you're doing is a presentation, right? You're not trying to get this running in a game. And then add geometry. Remember to add the geo to get this rounding out some more. All right, 3D design and modeling progression. What are we looking at here? What is this? This is Nald. Is this you, Nald? I don't know if this is you. I don't know what's happening. And then this one apparently is not for crits. This one's for crits. We're almost done here. As soon as I finish the last one, I'm gonna like jump out of here. Yeah, that's you? Okay. Did this stuff right here. This is cool. I really like the building stuff. Definitely you're in the beginnings of like... Oh man, I remember this. Okay, cool. Yeah, we need to get you into the modeling world. I'm gonna help you model some more stuff. Your first task is to model a fire hydrant. Remember guys, fire hydrant. I want to see you make a fire hydrant. Don't texture it, don't unwrap it, don't make a low poly. Just model the fire hydrant. Or pick an object that you want to make, a trash can, something, and just model it. No textures, no low poly. Let's get you like running on the modeling train. Because right now I think that's where you're weakest, is just in the modeling aspects. I want this guy on like my desk. Yeah, I want that on my desk. Okay, I will move on to this one. It's here again, the fire hydrant, guys. So this is Raz, new project. The moment nothing is final. This weekend I will redo my textures so that I can get the results that I want. At the moment I'm having problems making the blood look cool. Need to play with it more. So make your blood dark, like real dark. Desaturate it. Well, you might not be able to. You might not need to desaturate it if you just make it darker, and then just give the roughness value, the roughness that you would expect like a liquid. Then the other thing I would say is give it a tight normal map that has like just a slight edge to it, so that it gets a little bit of thickness, and it becomes quite reflective. That will probably get you pretty far. Try that out, and you should be good. Other than that, I like that you're building a little scene here. I would probably take the floor and light it in a way where the outsides get dark, so you don't see that it continues on forever, or just like cut the pieces of wood so that it's like a bunch of wood panels like floating like a little diorama. Not floating, they're attached together, but they're doing this. Something like that would be cool. stuff like that. So then just kind of round. Oh man, that'd be cool. Other than that, candles, make sure that you get some good subsurface on them so that they kind of feel like the light's passing through them. This is looking cool. I would make sure that this isn't rounded out so much. And I guess these vary quite a bit from each other. And then this corner piece is a little... It feels out of place. It's just the type of material, I guess. I love this spot right here. This is like... all this detail is really good. I would probably push the value of the wood down a little bit so that it separates from the wall. And then I would probably push the mid-range of the... would be cool. Ha 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 ha. Take the bricks and probably push the mid value down so they're just overall a bit darker, but not in the black range, if you know what I mean. So you grab the middle of the histogram and just bring it down. This is cool though. Love this. Love this. This is nice. This whole side here is really good. So the right side is more coherent, and this style down here feels like it's going away. My phone is ringing. Hang on. Two seconds, guys. Karma's not back yet, so this stream's gonna go on just for like 5 minutes longer. Just making sure everything is good. Just trying to find out if there's dinner. Is there food? No. Cool. But yeah, this... Later, Stubbles. Thanks for hanging out, man. This, the right side is very coherent. There needs to just be some material separations. Is it Shahul? Hi, how you doing? The left side is kind of breaking a bit on the direction of the visuals. Okay, I need to answer this stuff. How are you guys doing in chat? You good? Sorry, there's a bit of a thing going on. Life, guys. Life. Chilling. Doing great. Moving furniture and computers. Whoa. Serious. Alright. Yes, so the left side one, definitely make it more cohesive with the right side. And the right side, you just need to get some value separation between all of your materials. The metal on this window frame here, push your roughness on those so that they separate. And then they catch a little bit of that light. It will look really nice. And then I would say bevel the edge here so that you get lighting on the edge a bit more. See how it's kind of happening here? A little tighter than that and you'll be in a good spot. And there's some things floating down here. I don't know. Floatage. Cool. Okay, next up. Rock thing. Rock. Scrolling. This is from Killian. Working on a new rock. Opinions. So I really like the cracks. This stuff. That's cool. With rocks, always think about direction. So do this. I can kind of see there's a little bit here. There's a little here. You want to make sure that your rocks have a coherent layering to how they're built, because that's how rocks kind of form, unless they're lava rocks. So right now what I'm seeing is this, which isn't very, and then there's this one here, isn't very, like how rock forms. Let's see if I can do like I have a few minutes. I can ZBrush. So you want to make sure that you're doing angular rock formation or layered rock formation. It's usually tilted because of how like tectonic plates move, and they're either being pushed up or pushed down, and then they kind of curve inward. Let's see here. Just grab a sphere. We're gonna Dynamesh. We'll do this really fast. I won't take it too far either. I'm just gonna get it going. So usually when I start with rocks, you just start moving lots of stuff and just try and get shapes. And then make sure to Dynamesh again. And then not the chip brush, but the, where is it? The layering. You want layering action. Where 'tis layer action. Clay tubes. So just start building things up, like start at the bottom, just because things layer up on top of each other. And then you can just do stuff like this. Like maybe this piece is a bit bigger. You can invert it too and just carve out. Because you want those under edges, right? Press L. Why? What? And then it's about your chipping brush, and you use that to like kind of layer up your surfaces. I'm doing this really like messily too. But you can see how like layering is really helping, because you get these sheared off pieces. That's really important for a rock, like this stuff down here. Getting a separation between these two surfaces is important. Do that, and then we can do like you do a Dynamesh that'll bevel your edges a little bit, and then you can go in and kind of chip that up. You can invert a little bit and kind of fill in some of those crevices. Chip some more. See, this is more of like the detail pass afterwards. And then you can like grab, and then you start doing the cracks that you were showing earlier. Chip on those a little bit. And it's just lots of like start large and then focus your way down as you go. And then you'll get some better details. Like essentially I'm just focusing on this spot now, right? But yeah, this stuff is not easy either. Rocks are they're difficult. Anyway, that kind of gives you, if you put a rock alpha, use some trim smooth border, you can get some nice looking rock noise when trimming as well. Yes, you can. Yeah, think broad first, like you were doing like this. Like see how that's See how that's layering, and now you can just go through and you can kind of fill that in, and now you have that playing. It's just nice. Oh, it's nice. Feels nice. I love sculpting this type of stuff. Anyway, yeah. Cool. Cool. Bow. Alright. I gotta get out of here. Later, Lunganisa. You guys have a good weekend. I will check you guys later. And don't forget to brush your teeth. Don't forget to eat. Drink lots of water. Sleep well. I'm your digital father now. Fucking weird. Alright. Later, guys. Also, thanks for all of your support. You guys are amazing. Have a good weekend.